Do I? I'm not
Yeah,
doing it.
you do.
I'm not doing anything different. Is the audio messed up? Like, was I just like listening to audio as well? And people are like, why is there a down pitched song right now? It's either that or I've just been coughing really hard, but I haven't done anything this morning. I shouldn't have sounded any different than I sounded when we were having our meeting earlier. See?
Weird, for me on stream, you just sound so much deeper.
Every person says I sound normal. You're just different. Stop gaslighting me. My team gaslights me now, if you all didn't know, if you were curious about that. I'll just occasionally get lies. So I'll give you all a quick little rundown of night vision. It's being tested today, so for all of you who are like, it doesn't look perfect, my answer is going to be, I know. So anyway, yeah, see, I sound the same. He's making it up to troll you. Bruce, we're not going to listen to you anymore. Not allowed.
I'm going crazy.
Yeah. So each dinosaur has two settings. There's two settings to night vision globally. There is the exposure. Exposure is going to be how bright your world brightens up in terms of to the comparative how dark it is. And then there is your it's called the stencil range. So what happens here with our whoops, I can't pounce to save my life. No one saw that. So this is the stencil range. The stencil is this type of effect that you see both around the raptor, around the leaves, the banana plant, all that other stuff. This is not fully intended. This is going to be how it is until I sort out a silhouette. If I can get a silhouette. If I can't get a silhouette, too bad. The silhouetting will basically take away what you see here, the outlines of the leaf. I know I can't pull up a mouse cursor, so this is a little problematic. Hold on. Can I? There. Okay. You all, oh no, you can't see my mouse cursor even with console open. Boo. A stencil allows detailing on top of itself. So if we look at this, you see inside of the plant, you can see all the individual leaves. You can see where the outlines of them are, and we don't want that. That causes a little bit too much of the noise that you see, especially inside of a jungle. So I'll go inside of a jungle in a little bit and we'll see some of the stenciling where it's a little more harsh. If we can have an outline, you simply will not see anything more than the outline of an object. That'll be on things such as the plants, your meshes, everything from your landscape, and of course your animals. And this does have a nice fade range. So depending on the animal that you are, you also have a different length of how far out the stenciling range will go. So that is the other half. You can see with the raptor here in the distance, in particular where his head's at, that shape is not particularly outlined, the bangalow palms, the bushes, so on and so forth. But as we walk up close to it, we see this outline slowly coming in. So that's fun. So those are the two things. I'll give you a quick brightness differential so you can see a low end. You know what? You all don't get to see this part, but you all can see the difference between a low end and a high end creature. So for those of you that may not like the stenciling or don't like the effect, two things. Number one, we are trying to get an appropriate silhouette, so it's a lot less noisy. However, the actual solution here was basically trying to get rid of a nightlight because we don't want some sort of like artificial point light spawning and then being around the character or creature. It just doesn't look good. And also if you're trying to do auto exposure and that light's there, it just interferes with it. Now, mind you, there is also, that threw me off. Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, good. I can just, when my ADHD kicks in, I can come over and just start beating you. Just perfect. So one of the things here with the Stegosaurus in particular, Stegosaurus has the weakest night vision. So the weakest night vision possible on a half moon. This isn't even full moon. This isn't as bright as it can get. You don't really have too much in the way of I can't see unless you have terrible, 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 terrible weather conditions. And this will also brighten up when you actually go into a darker area. So we also won't have that problem. Hold on. What time is it? Okay. It is 012 and it is not frozen. Perfect. Here, we're gonna I'm gonna do a quick little spot. Do you want to go be a Dilo and go stand in the
Sure.
tree line real quick, and I'll show them the differences for these. And I will. Oh, I still can't jump over this as a baby. Boo! I thought I changed this. We need to. You gotta be able to jump over that.
Right, to your left or right?
It really doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'll just.
I'll go where you
cheat.
were yesterday.
Okay, I was gonna say I'll just cheat and look for your thing up top. So with auto exposure, there's a fun thing that we've done with shadows. Depending on the brightness of which a shadow is and the animal looking inside of it, you may notice, and this is a little harsh. I understand that we're all on a stream here, and it's a little unfortunate, but it's okay. Testing soon. There's decent. I don't know if I can see you yet. I'm doing the shadow demonstration for them first.
Yeah.
There's desaturation on different levels of shading. So out in the open, animals with exceptional night vision, they can see. There's no color problems. They have full saturation. Everybody else who can't, when it gets into the dark, all of this saturation goes away, so it starts being more about your patterning. And this is exceptionally true once something's about 15 meters away. It just might as well be invisible. So are you over here where I'm staring at?
Yeah, where all those like little banana trees are.
Okay, 100% cannot tell where you are. You had no idea. Oh, you were behind a tree. No wonder I couldn't tell.
No, I was in an open area to the right.
Oh, were you?
View on you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, I see you behind a tree.
Yeah, no, I was over here at first.
I'm coming in to take a look with chat.
Yeah,
Oh
right
yeah.
here.
Yeah. So we're gonna just have you stand here for a moment,
Righty-o.
and I'm gonna.
Hands off the keyboard.
Well, you don't have to do that. I'm just gonna move over to the Dilo.
Yeah, Dilo night vision is crazy.
Oh yeah, so Omniraptor has one of the best night visions, but Dilophosaurus and Troodon just do not care about the night at all. They just don't. It is so incredibly simple for them to walk through shadows now. They have full forms of visual acuity when it comes to the saturation of creatures, being able to see at a distance, and I'll pop us a Pteranodon real quick and we'll do a quick little flyover. You will see some weirdness, though, as we continue doing this. For those of you who are curious about footprints, blood, and all that other stuff, it's irrelevant now. All that has to be altered for the night vision, so it's not doing a fun type of emissive blindness effect. So, let's see. Let's go ahead and grab the night. We'll make it a little bit darker with some weather settings. So you're still, yeah, you're still over there. Yeah,
Yep.
I see your tail. Yep. Yep, so he's still there, right there in between the crests. Your visual profile is so rough. So the pulse is currently connected passively to the night vision. The pulse is going to be moved to your scent. So the reason for that, in particular, if we look at areas like this, we'll go inside of here. I understand that it's going to be very bright for a Dilophosaurus, but let's go ahead and make it very, very dark. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. We need to do this. So we're just going to put it at our worst parts of weather, overcast and foggy. So overcast for us at night, everyone, again, you may not like it, but overcast at night means dark. Overcast at night with night vision, not so much. So dinosaurs can see. People that are running around and needing equipment, such as flashlights, cannot see. And
Do you want me to pop one of those?
yeah, could you be so kind?
Sure.
You just run out here into the path where I was standing at and just pop on a flashlight.
Will do.
It'll also be very important to note we have we're about to do the pulse. The debug settings for the speed up and speed down are very quick. It will not be instant. You will not be able to just turn on night vision and go, I can see. It'll take 10 seconds or more. The reason for this is because soon I'm going to walk up to this flashlight and blind myself, and then you will notice I can't see in the dark anymore. It doesn't work like that. We'll grab Dryo, since everyone has always said for the longest time Dryo should have awesome night vision. So here's our Dryosaurus. It's not a Dilophosaurus. It can still see, obviously. On my stream, it looks much darker than what I'm seeing on my monitor to my left. So I'm not sure if it's super off for all of you. I can confidently walk around and tell any of you right now that outside of some color desaturation, I am in no danger in any way, shape, or form of running around and running into something. It's not going to happen. However, again, no light. This is one of the best night visions you can have. So, of course, there's a little bit of orange, there's a little bit of yellow, but for the most part, you cannot discern the types of colorations and things of animals. So we have this bit here. This is what night normally looks like. His flashlight, to be clear, is a little bit larger in both its cone and distance of which it shines. So if we're not accurately looking at this, it's not horrible. You can already start to see where the darkness has started to fade out because of how much light is inside of there. But walking up to a light or having someone pop a flare in your face is basically asking to see nothing other than that light source. And then, of course, without the debug times, you will have quite a bit of wind-up time before you will be able to see inside of the dark again. So, yay. For those of you who are thinking flashbangs are going to be awesome, we're not Counter-Strike. Flashbangs are not going to go boom and emit light. Flashbangs are going to disorient and deafen. You are not going to visually go, oh, I can't see. I can't see due to exposure or anything else like that. Nope. Distortion, confusion, lens issues, none of the just, oh, it's bright. That's not a flashbang. So, but there we go. And again, this is for those of you who are wondering, can I use night vision on and off to just see? We'll go inside of daytime here in a second. Also, human temporarily has glowing eyes. It's been this unintended result of him looking like a horror monster. For those of you who are looking for meme potential, I'll just real quick. Can you look back at the camera? Stop looking at me. Stop looking at me.
I'm turning.
Yeah, stop moving. I'm trying to do this for the people that are going to come up with some hilarious pictures. So there you go. Anyway, so the pulse here is meant to be a spatial awareness. Spatial awareness. Sorry, I had a knock. Spatial awareness for being able to see structures, landscape, and objects. So if it gets very dark, even with the stenciling effect, while this does help some, being able to tap your scent button and have a pulse kind of flash out, and this isn't going to be able to be something that you just spam repeatedly, but you get a sense of, hey, I can see where the ground is. I can see where the wall is. I can see where objects are. It goes a little bit further. And that's important for players to basically be able to go, where am I? There are instances, there are areas where you specifically cannot see very well. There might be something open underground, and you go, where are the edges? Where are the walls? Where are the floors? I can't tell other than the stencil of my animal. You're going to need this, and that's why it's appropriate. It's helpful in other situations too. Stegosaur and other animals, they do not have the best night vision, and because of that, there are 2 instances in time where for about 90 seconds, you truly are blind. You need this stencil outline and you need this little radial pulse. It's a very short amount of time, but the idea that we're trying to capture in the gameplay here is to make sure that there are moments of vulnerability for creatures, especially during twilight hours. Certain animals don't care about this. They're not vulnerable. They can see fine. But we wanted things that are carnivores or predators to have moments of opportunity to where if you see something at night, you could go, we could kill that if we had sight advantage. So if we stalk this thing till the sun starts to rise, well, we can butcher it. And absolutely. So that was the general gist with it. This is one of the, we're only on overcast now, so we'll just move this to a foggy. Goo. Rough. So a foggy night, again, this isn't particularly overcast, so it's a little bit brighter. And again, Dryosaurus is one of the better animals with night vision. We can cycle through some awful ones here in a moment. And for those of you who are wondering, is it can you toggle it or is it automatic? It is a toggle. The problem with it being automatic is there are certain instances where you simply don't want to use this. And it ultimately is a video game. To not have that type of manual control, I personally found as a gamer frustrating. I didn't like it, so I refused to keep it in. I like the ability to go, I have no need to be looking with my night vision on right now. Maybe I specifically am trying to find something in the dark. Maybe I'm looking for light sources. Maybe I'm looking for anything. It doesn't really matter what it is. But ultimately, the choice boils down to a lack of manual control, no feel good. So manual control it is. And the highlight does work for other animals. It works for any object. So right here, our human, he doesn't count as a dinosaur, but he still gets an outline. Everything gets an outline. The ruling with stencil is that if you look at his bicep to pec area in the front, you'll notice that the line just kind of stops. So if I look down, that stencil raises up. If I look up, the stencil raises down. And that's because the way that the stencil outline works is it needs an object in behind that particular mesh in order to go, okay, let's draw the stencil, which is what you see in underwater night vision, which means that with a little bit of a stretch of imagination here, you can see that the lower part of the human has a stencil outline, the upper part doesn't, because everything behind him is so far away, it doesn't know to draw a stencil. So if you're underwater and there's a really, really, really big creature swimming by, and it doesn't have an object behind it, you'd have no idea. So it's one of those things. Silhouette, though, not the same. Silhouette no longer requires that. It's just outlined the whole time. Everything's fine. It just is what it is. And we are, again, trying to find an appropriate silhouette solution, but I'm not delaying night vision or any of these changes to try and find that. So let's see. Let's grab, run into a Pteranodon. Let's see, Pteranodon, and then we will do environment. Let's do overcast. Let's do this. So here's our Pteranodon. It's not the best vision and it's not the worst. We specifically have some stuff coming out for Pteranodon in a much larger docket than just this. We're just going to get up as high as possible. So at night, with fog, he's not exactly a scout anymore. A standard night, well, looky-loo, he can just see all of the things. So weather is relevant. Weather is very relevant. The time of the moon cycle is going to be relevant. So that'll be an enjoyable time. You'll be able to see the difference between a full moon, half moons, new moons. There's different levels of brightness. Having no moon at all, which is what we've tested the worst of this on, we just took the moon out of the sky and then ran around in night vision. You can technically see it's pretty much what fog is without the blur. So that's a fun time. Thank God Pteranodon's being moved to a mostly terrestrial creature, though. Anywho. Let me get back over here. Yeah, see, you all see a bunch of different things from far away. That's why I said this is old, because this stuff, yeah, look, it loads out when you get close. I haven't updated anything. And yes, you all keep saying it, and I haven't acknowledged it. You are hearing Psittacosaurus. They spawn everywhere around here. House Stego with the worst weather? Well, technically the worst weather would be overcast or foggy for visuals. Thunderstorm, which you all have not seen yet, there's some adjustments that are going to be made to the wind and some of the sound because it's just not fun to be in a thunderstorm right now. But visually, it's so cool. So, let me move over to the Stego. So we've got what? We've got Stego on a half moon. Is it still half moon? I feel like I should probably just reset the day. There we go. Oh, never mind. I made it worse. The server's been up for a while, so every time I do this, I guess the moon cycle is going to get gradually darker and darker. Florida Man Simulator, yeah. Oh, and Galley has terrible night vision too. I put him with the Stego. For those of you who are going, but why does the Galley have terrible night vision? Because they're basically a chicken. So they get chicken night vision. Go stand in a light. So here is the Stego in the fog, which I'm sure is just the worst pain for all of you, because for me it's a nice cool desaturation. I can run around, and this is the worst of the worst. I wonder if there's a way that I could like synchronize this, because it's like I can definitely tell on stream that you all see something much darker than I do. Let me see if there's a setting here. Because I'm doing great. Yeah, it looks super dark overall for you all. I can still see everything. The cement, out, all of the cargo containers. I can see all the way back into the docks. I can see the crane outlines, light, all of that, and see all of the pillars here. So it may be a unfortunate thing for display, which looks really awful for you all, and then will look different on monitors. But again, we have other people running through it today as well, just to sanity check all of that, because it looks totally different. Then we'll run through a storm real quick. Oh, this guy's fun. He has decent enough night vision too, or he should. I might have broke Ceratosaurus. I did a lot of stuff with him recently. No, he's fine. Yeah. So here's Ceratosaurus, fog. Underwater night vision has not been adjusted. Underwater night vision has not been changed. It will remain the same and stay that way until I have an appropriate underwater night vision solution. If I do, otherwise, you have what you have. Is there a carnivore that would struggle most at night? I don't know. Herrera from a high tree? No. Herrerasaurus is totally fine. Herrerasaurus has one of the further ranges of everything explicitly to deal with the fact that he is inside of trees for most of the time. We didn't want people to try and jump from branch to branch and then just be like, hello, excuse me, but where the hell am I? So you simply don't have that issue with a Herrerasaurus. So, anyway, those are the fun ones. People are saying Omni, but they're not saying Omni for the right reasons. The correct question would be, can you show us the Omniraptor's manual pounce control, please? No, all of the glowing stuff, this is just because we've never had to deal with this with the way that we've done night vision. All of this is going to change. So the symbols and stuff will be the same, but this glowing, no, that won't happen anymore. None of that. None of that at all. I don't care. You can argue all you want about the glowing, but if it comes down to the visual fidelity of what's appropriate for the game and night vision, this glowing needs to go. And you're just going to have to live with that sacrifice because you're not changing it. All right, let's see. What have we not done with night vision other than storms? That's pretty much it, isn't it? Storms?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, storms.
Storm's probably the last big thing.
Yes, I mean, storms aren't, you know, it's going to be loud. Just everyone here, I'm going to give you about 10 seconds. Volume warning. Turn me down about halfway. Holy shit. I remember when I had the power to summon Bike Man. I remember when I had that Infinity Stone. Fuck. Your name's Sip of 7-Up. Don't try and fuck with people. Know your lane and stay in it. Alright. So, aside from this, we will now go into the other part, which I know most people are very... Oh my eyes! Jesus! That everyone's really excited about. Admin, can we use night vision in the daytime? And the answer is yes. Yes, you can. That's night vision in the daytime. There's night vision off. There's night vision on. And night vision off. There is no difference. It does not help you in any way, shape, or form unless you go into an area that has appropriately no or low light levels. So if we go, everything's going to be shiny because it's been raining, so we might have to wait a minute, but...
You could go into like the building to the right.
It doesn't get dark enough in here.
Yeah,
no, it does not get dark enough in here. It's very, brightness. Yeah. Also, none of these are set up. And this is what Gabriel and the others are checking on as well. It's not set up for rain in the interior, so everything's all nice and bright. Ooh. So, this is night vision on, night vision off. Ooh, fun times. You shouldn't be able to fit in here. Get out, cheater. We'll go into a different spot in the jungle. Let's do grab the raptor again since we're about to go on to that, and I'm almost out of time. I'm gonna have to leave soon. All right, so night vision off, night vision on, night vision off, night vision on. There's no real day disparity. So. Bick, it's probably because you're not asking a real question and you have nothing but emotionally charged passive-aggressive comments. If you asked for real, you might actually get what you're looking for, but until then, you can stay in obscurity. All right, you want to go be a stego real quick?
Sure.
We'll run down to the bottom. I'll give them their last little bit, and then I'm gonna have to head off. Oh, okay. Well, we can put the child in timeout. That's fine. And we all moved on. So, manual control. Stamina amount is not going to be set up, so I'm going to run out of stamina pretty quick while I do this. But we are setting something up for a fumble test here, and if it gets past QA, you guys will be able to get some fun manual control for pretty much anything that counts. And it may make its way over to Trudon as well. The idea here, the one thing is missing is there is a manual dismount control for the direction you are looking, which means when certain animals, you can jump over them. And so that means if I'm looking in this direction, I'm latched onto a Stegosaurus, and I decide that, oh, hey, he's walked up to the edge of a cliff, and my only option now is to jump off to my death. That will no longer be the case. You will just climb over them and jump in that direction. But if it is an animal such as a Stegosaurus, and you really just decide that you don't, oh, you know what, I might have to, there we go. You can just decide to climb on their back and then decide, I'm not going to deal with being on that side of you at all. Now, mind you, there is no smooth translation for moving any of that. This is just a quick little fun, hey, we're going to have the dinosaur move. But depending on the size of the animal, you'll be able to move to different latch points. And there's also something here as well. His animation's been changed. The raptor itself currently no longer instantly does a specific attack and damage. When you are grabbed onto something, you have this small bit of persistent and passive damage that will be dealt to the player, but you can decide, because you are latched onto the animal, you can use your primary attack to do a low impact raw damage attack, which is basically like saying you're biting them without having to worry about it. So this is going to be when you do your primary attack, no bleed, just raw damage. And then of course, if you do your secondary attack, there's not going to be a ton of damage, but you can rake the animal. So if it is more prudent to make something bleed out instead of just biting it to death, you can do that. And so you can decide, depending on what prey you're latched onto, if you're going to be trying to bleed it to death, if you're going to be trying to do damage to it, or whatever you may be doing. So hopefully it doesn't suck. If I had like 3 raptors, we could do the grapple thing, but alas, no clones. I want to say the only other thing that we've got going on, but I can't really comment on the moment because we're verifying some stuff with bucking, is that it's no longer going to be weird, obvious war of attrition. So no more holding down buck and then your stamina going away. It's more of a, you're probably just going to always want to buck when something's on you. It's not going to destroy your stamina. It's not going to destroy their stamina. It's just going to get them dismounted and off of you. There are certain animals, of course. I know some of you have seen the Allosaurus. He is particularly violent in most of his animations. So there may be certain animals that if you latch onto them, are capable of dealing retaliatory damage depending on where you are at on their body. So if you just jump on them and go, hee hee, I'm on its side, it doesn't matter, it will matter. All right. I think that's it for the vast majority of stuff that I wanted to get in, be able to show them, and be prepared for before I tip off to go deal with testing. Can you say if you may take inspiration from Monster Hunter World? Okay, so here's the sad reality of this. When this was prototyped and tested, I've played an exceptionally low amount of Monster Hunter. I'm talking about I've been to the second region and I've only ever used dual blades. That's it. When I showed this to a couple of people that don't work on the game that have played Monster Hunter World, they said the exact same thing. They were like, "Oh, so it's like Monster Hunter World," and I was like, "I guess." And then I looked, and unintentional, but yeah, I wish it was more like Dragon's Dogma because that's like the ultimate form of scaling a big enemy and killing it. But you know, yeah. Humble Dragon's Dogma 2 mention. What a great fun game. Uh, Now I want to play Dragon's Dogma 2. That was one of those games that's like combat was too much fun, so I couldn't stop just killing stuff. I was just going around murder hoboing anything that was bigger than 10 feet tall. If I can climb it, it must die. Oh, man. Oh, there is, hold on. I'm curious if this is in. I'm gonna go, let me, check this first. Rex does not obliterate Stego in the fashion that you're thinking, mainly because we want to test it being an actual game before we just say, oh, hey, the T-Rex should realistically probably just grab onto pretty much anything, insert weight ranges here, and the disparity of which something could pull away from it. But the average animal, if a T-Rex bit down on it, it's just going to die. But players don't like that feeling, and we have a setup to where it can be like that. So when the Tyrannosaur hits QA, there will be the two methods. There's like, hey, here's Tyrannosaur where you could potentially escape it, and then here's Tyrannosaur where if it gets a hold of you, you just die. And I feel like the first one is going to be what all of the victims want, unless anyone plays the Tyrannosaur, because everyone sees like fighting in this game. And I don't know why, but it's like if you don't kill your enemy, it's a loss. Complete and total loss. So I have no idea which way that pendulum will swing. All right. Do I have this open? Let me look. Oh, does this thing move yet? I'm kind of curious. I keep forgetting how big a Triceratops like actually is. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like,
I forgot it was that big. Fucking hell. Oh.
Well, you're a real stego now. You're not sitting there like some random Jurassic Park scale where you're like, look at me, size of small building.
Yeah.
Let me check that. No sound, but I can send you flying. Hold on.
Do it.
Does it? Yeah. No. No, that's broken. It's, the animation's there, but it's messed up. We'll leave that for another day. He's maybe a week or two out, so I'll be fine. No, you all can scream show us, but you don't win that battle with me. Nay. So anyway, let's see. Let's see. I'm just trying to check to see if there's anything that slipped through the cracks that you all might be able to catch before I tip on out. Otherwise, we're going to find someone to host. Someone say Rex's new sounds? Well, I mean, you got to listen to 3 of them. You just heard 3 brand new sounds, sir. What do you mean? There was a whole trailer that had Tyrannosaur noises in it. I'm being pranked by all of these people. They were vocals! What do you mean? They were Tyrannosaur vocals! Oh my god. You got the 1 call! What do you mean? Oh, sorry. They don't even know that it was a 1 call. I guess not. Oh well. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no, the Grievous coughs. Ugh, Jesus. Ugh. Anyway. Now the sounds at the end of the Familiar Faces trailer are the current work in progress sounds for the Tyrannosaur, who has a few different parts to its sound set that you will be able to activate and choose between different sounds. So for those of you that want an old school, nice retro 90s big roar, you get one. For those of you that like that infrasound click click boom scary lizard from the past, you get one. So there you go. T-Rex will have a few different vocal sounds, and it is explicitly to appeal to those that like some paleo noises, because infrasound T-Rex spooky. But of course, you do have some nice old 90s stuff. Mixed in with the appropriate old school 90s call that everybody knows. So anyway, this has been fun. I have to get back to work. I promised that I would do a stream. You all got a little something. I may be back next week. So if I'm not, I don't know, suffer the last amount of time you did before I had a stream, because I don't remember when that was. I don't do these too much. We're gonna go over to El Maco. You all be nice to this small Viking man. He does his best, and he has nice quality, wholesome streams. Yes, yes, I know. Update the roadmap. Okay, fine. Jesus.
It'll happen. Elders are coming and I'll do the roadmap. Jesus.
Why?